Hi, I'm CK here, CKT from Singapore. Welcome to the next double, where you learn how to grow your money safely and grow a nice retirement fund in 15 years or less. Now, if you recall in the last session, we talked about, for starters, what you should be focusing on, okay? And of course, you have to be easily comfortable with this equation, which is simply your income minus your expenses equal your savings. And what else we learned was, according to J. Abraham, the marketing guru, instead of spending all your effort on incomes only, or reducing expenses only, or increasing savings only, it's better to take the effort that you have in mind and split into growing your income, controlling expenses, and increasing your savings. Okay. Now, before we move on further, you really want to know what are we trying to achieve here? Okay. Now, quoting Stephen Covey, the author of the book Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. One of the habits strikes a strong chord with me, and it is beginning with the end in mind. Okay, so the idea is really to have a retirement fund. Now, when I say the word retirement fund, I know what you're thinking. Okay, you probably have a few ideas, understandings, or may I say, misunderstanding of a retirement. Now, so first of all, this is a very common myth or misconception of retirement. Okay, many people say this: when I retire, I have to live on savings. Is this true? No, it's not. Okay, what happens is this: when you retire, it is possible still to have income going, even if you're no longer working. Okay, how to do so? We'll talk about that, of course, later. Now, misconception number 2: retirement occurs when I reach the minimum retirement age. You know, in Singapore, as of now, the minimum retirement age is 63. Okay. Now, so for most people, they think that retirement occurs between 60 to 65. I don't know, some of you may actually choose to retire at 70. Okay. Now, this is again another misconception. Retirement can occur at any age you want, okay, as long as you meet one condition. What condition is that? We'll talk about it later. Okay. Now, the third and common and major misconception of retirement is this. Okay, which is I only plan for retirement when I start working, or I get married, or I have own kids, or my own kids, or grow up, or whatever, or there's a lot of ors. Okay? Now, is this so? No. Retirement can be planned and acted upon at any time. If you're a student, good. If you're in the national service or in the army, great. Okay. If you just started working, all right, sure, no problem. Okay. As long as you take action. Okay. Now, so these are all real serious misconceptions that is really stopping you from growing your money safely and growing that nice retirement. Now, before I go on, let me just share with you my background. Okay? I'm economics trained. I have an honors degree in economics, and I'm really thoroughly familiar with insurance plans, protection schemes, savings plan, of course, the investment. Okay? I'm also a candidate for the CFA program, the Chartered Financial Analyst. So I have my share of dealing with stocks and bonds as well. Now, I dare not say I know everything, but I'm definitely one who is relatively well informed when it comes to incomes, expenses, and savings. Okay. Now, so the next thing I want to highlight is this: if the previous are all the myths, so these throughs will be the one I hope that you have in mind from now on. Okay. So, what is retirement? Retirement is really time independent. You can retire at any time. It can be 20, it can be 40, it can be 60, or you can don't retire at all. It's a choice. Okay. Secondly, retirement is personal. It is your retirement. So nothing to do with your kid, nothing to do with your spouse, nothing to do with your pet, nothing to do with your neighbor. Okay. Really, it should be so. Why? We'll talk about it later. Okay. Now, thirdly is this: retirement is and should be a fun game. Okay, if you treat it as a game, you'll find that it's really full of excitement. Okay, it's just like playing Monopoly. Do you remember when you play Monopoly? You're trying to find out how fast you can become the winner in the game, isn't it? But the retirement game is like that. The only difference is everyone can be a winner. Okay, now, so if retirement occurs at any stage, right? So you really want to know, well, how does the game end, isn't it? right? So really, what is the end game about retirement? Okay, I like to coin it as, I call it the end game fund. Okay, so thank you for the term from Marvel. So what is this? When you have your end game fund, you can retire comfortably and safely and rock roll, okay, for the rest of your life. So the idea is this: you want to have a fund, well, that's not sitting in the bank, okay? It's well invested and gives you a sum of money to support a preferred lifestyle. Now, I said a preferred lifestyle is very different for your average lifestyle or even your desired lifestyle. Okay, we'll see. All right. So here's what you want to know right now. Okay. So for example, if you remember we talked about this, your funds must be invested. Okay. Now, so just assuming if your fund is safely invested such that it gives you 4% of returns every year. Okay, now if you can do so, you'll find that if you, for example, if 1 million save up for retirement, 4% will be able to give you 40,000 in the first year of retirement. Okay, now ask yourself, can you live on $40,000 a year? I believe so, isn't it? Okay, for example, okay, let me just run through some numbers. Okay, so let's say well, let's say you spend $100 a day. Okay, let's say, I mean any currency. Okay, it can be your US dollars, pound, euro, or Singapore dollars as well. Okay, no problem. Now, if you spend $100 a day, that will be how much in a month? That will be 3,000, isn't it? A month, and it'll work out to be $360,000 a year. Now, so you find that $40,000 is enough to cover your spending of $100 a day. Okay? Ask yourself, do you really spend $100? Okay, can you spend $100 a day? Yes, you can. Do you spend $100 every day? I don't think so. Okay, unless okay, you are relatively a bigger shopaholic. Okay, yeah. Now, so what's the point? Okay, by the way, this 4% rule, right, is created by this famous financial planner William Bergen. So he says that if you have $1 million set aside, you can just touch that $40,000 interest and you never need to work anymore. Okay, think about it. The analogy is this: think of this 1 million as your goose. Okay, yes, and the $40,000 is your egg. So as long as you don't kill the golden goose, you'll always get your golden eggs every single year. Isn't that true? Yes, that's the idea you need to have. Okay, and if you can do so, you will be able to retire nicely. Now, the next obvious question is this. Well, the next $1 million question is, so how on earth do you get a $1 million fund, isn't it? Okay. Is it $1 million is rather difficult to amass? Well, it can be or it can be not. Okay. So what happened is this. On our channel, the next double, there is a formula to create that $1 million. And here's how you do it. You just play the game of 10 doubles. That's what our channel is about. Okay. Now, assuming you begin with a $1,000 can, okay, level 0, I call it. Like I said, it doesn't matter. So US dollars, euro, pounds, or Singapore dollars can. Okay. So your job is this: you're gonna play 10 doubles. Okay. The first double is, how do you double your money from $1,000 to 2,000, and then from 2 to 4,000. Level 3 is 4,000 to 8,000. Okay, and then to 16. Level 5 is from 16 to 32,000. You know where I'm getting on, right? Okay, you know where I'm getting at. Yeah. So level 6, 64,000. And level 7, of course, is $128,000. Okay. Yep. And then level 8 at $256,000. Level 9, over $500,000. And finally, level 10, $1.024 million. Okay. You're going to make it simple, just round it down to $1 million. Okay. If you can reach level 10 in your lifetime, you are ready to retire. Okay. How fast can you reach level 10? Well, I know I know friends who are on average, they did it in 15 years or less. Remember, that's what I said. Okay? 15 years or less. There are also very special cases of people who, I don't know, they probably took 6 years and then they created a business and they sold it for $30 million. Okay, I know there are some who are still trying very difficult to amass $16,000, even in their 50s. Okay, so where can you be? We'll see. Okay, we'll see. Right now, obviously, if you're an ambitious sort, you can go on to the additional levels again, but as long as you can hit this level, you will be able to retire comfortably and safely. All right. Now, so in the subsequent channels and videos, we will basically look at how you're going to tackle each of the various factors. Okay, if you can control them nicely, you will see results very soon. Okay, so stay with me, stay on this channel, and I'll share with you more in the next video. All right, by then, see you. CK here. Bye.